The origins of the Internet are rooted in the USA of the 1950s. The Cold War was at its height and huge tensions existed between North America and the Soviet Union. Both superpowers were in possession of deadly nuclear weapons, and people lived in fear of long-range surprise attacks. The US realized it needed a communications system that could not be affected by a Soviet nuclear attack. At this time, computers were large, expensive machines exclusively used by military scientists and university staff. Internet. No one person invented the Internet. When networking technology was first developed, a number of scientists and engineers brought their research together to create the ARPANET. Later, other inventors' creations paved the way for the web as we know it today. Paul Barron, an engineer whose work overlapped with ARPA's research. In 1959 he joined an American think tank, the RAND Corporation, and was asked to research how the U.S. Air Force could keep control of its fleet if a nuclear attack ever happened. In 1964 Barron proposed a communication network with no central command point. If one point was destroyed, all surviving points would still be able to communicate with each other. He called this a distributed network. Lawrence Roberts, chief scientist at ARPA, responsible for developing computer networks. Paul Barron's idea appealed to Roberts, and he began to work on the creation of a distributed network. Leonard Kleinrock, an American scientist who worked towards the creation of a distributed network alongside Lawrence Roberts. Donald Davies, a British scientist who, at the same time as Roberts and Kleinrock, was developing similar technology at the National Physical Laboratory in Middlesex. Bob Kahn and Vint Cerf, American computer scientists who developed TCP/IP, the set of protocols that governs how data moves through a network. This helped the ARPANET evolve into the Internet we use today. Vint Cerf is credited with the first written use of the word Internet. When asked to explain my role in the creation of the Internet, I generally use the example of a city. I help to build the roads, the infrastructure that gets things from point A to point B. Vint Cerf, Paul Makopatris and John Postel, inventors of DNS, the phone book of the Internet. Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web, who developed many of the principles we still use today, such as HTML, HTTP, URLs, and web browsers. There was no eureka moment. It was not like the legendary apple falling on Newton's head to demonstrate the concept of gravity. Inventing the World Wide Web involved my growing realization that there was a power in arranging ideas in an unconstrained, web-like way, and that awareness came to me through precisely that kind of process. The web arose as the answer to an open challenge, through the swirling together of influences, ideas, and realizations from many sides.